Afrique, et malheureusement Afrique sans fric. Oh, naso idée, naso idée, yendenika. Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Eh oui.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Now You Know Podcast, everyone's favorite podcast. This episode is brought to you by our good friends at Stuck in the Middle. That is SITM. Shout out to those guys. They pay the bills and we just live rent free. We appreciate y'all. I'm here today with Chef Kyle, the guy who never, does anything in the kitchen but calls himself a chef. We
Wow.
have Nat, the OG, and we have Queen K, and we have a special guest, but we will leave that guest on hold for now. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Not good because of you just insulted me.
It's not an insult if it's true.
It's not true. That's a lie.
This guy
I side with Bell on
that.
this one. Whatever Bell says about Carson, I'm with you, bro.
See ahead. Wow. Aristide, after all we just went through.
Look, man. Look.
After what we just went through, you're signing with him. Hey,
Yeah, didn't y'all going on vacation together?
bro,
Look.
we're enjoying life.
something
We're
like
eating
that.
pear. We're eating pear every day.
We're all pairs, man, every
Must
day.
be
Pears, man.
nice.
Rices, come on now.
If we're bonding over pay.
Bro, over
I know,
pear,
man.
man.
Oh,
Hi.
You know, but that pair.
But
I
that
know,
pear,
right?
that creamy pear, so you
Man,
change
that pear was
that
good,
bread.
man.
But anyway,
Okay.
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be back talking with you guys, and obviously to meet our guest today. So I'm excited for the topic also.
Bueno. Queen K, feeling good?
Me?
No, you.
No, I'm not feeling good.
Why aren't you feeling good?
I have an exam tomorrow, and this is me trying to cram all my information in one night that I should have been.
What did you do? What did you do over the weekend?
Now you know.
Now you know.
No, just living life.
It's okay. Life is to be
I went
enjoyed.
to work. I made my money, and I went and I spent my money. Actually, I didn't end up spending any money, if I'm being quite honest. Money was spent on me, but
It is what it is. We move. Anyway, moving on. We have a very special guest tonight. Normally I would introduce the guest, but this auntie has a very large head, so I told her that she would introduce herself. So please, our guest, if you don't mind, introduce yourself and give us a fun fact about you.
Right. I hate introduction. But anyways, my name is Kelly Munge. I'm a entrepreneur, if you can put it that way. Run a fashion line, Cartier's Design, all of from Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. You guys feel free to check us out. It's based in Cameroon, and we ship worldwide, and also we've been around for like 6 years now. About 6 years, and also we are the ones designing for Belna's wedding. So, and fun fact about myself, I love to cook. I love to travel, and I hate boring people. Just to put it.
Karen, she hates you. I'm sorry.
first off, let's get this straight. Out of all people, I am the least boring person you could be around.
Yo.
I am very.
I'm just
excited.
kidding. I'm
Like-
kidding. I'm kidding, Karen. I'm kidding.
Karen's like,
But,
nope.
I mean, when
Not
I
it.
said boring, like I myself, I don't go out a lot. I'm a home person, but I
You
don't
get
know.
what you
it's
mean,
like
like
you just-
personality wise,
Yeah, personality wise, like we can't like sit together and like you're just there. It's I don't know.
What if I want to just be there?
To just then why are you there? Like, don't
Where
take
should I be?
Where should I be?
like there's no use to me. Like it has no use. There's no use for you to
Am
just
I
be
there for
there.
you?
Like there's really then
Mhm.
why are you
I'm there for me,
that's why I
and
said
you happen to be
I
there.
hate boring people in my own life. You cannot be in my life and then just be there. Like there's no point.
Hey, Jesus.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Anyway, thank you for coming on NYK podcast. We appreciate you taking that time. So tonight we have a very interesting topic, and our guest tonight was strategically picked for this topic because there's something that she's going to be dealing with, in some months and some years as well. So the topic is pretty much kids and technology. So the main point here is I know you guys have seen it because I've seen it. You've seen how people create pages online for like their pets, and you also see parents creating, Instagram accounts for their kids, even though they're the ones that run it, right? But you know, so Kelly, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Like, what is your take on parents creating these accounts for their kids?
um Actually this is just a topic I was having yesterday with my guy. With me, I was kind of not too sure yet because yesterday when we were talking about it, I told him I was like, sometimes like when you put your kids online, it's like really not that safe because I'm a very protective person. Like I I get paranoid very easily. So like I can read something online and then immediately like just go crazy. Um I look at myself like to be that kind of a parent who would like literally like have camera like all over the kids' room. Like it has to have a window sensor. It has to have like the cam. I don't know how I'm gonna feel like just leaving my child to like just sleep by themselves without me not watching them. Because the things you see these days, yes, I was reading a story about how there was this parent on TikTok and they had a 3-year-old son and there was a camera in their room and it looks like someone was speaking to their son through the camera at night. So it was kind of weird because when the dad came to tuck the child in at night and then he wanted to leave, the son was like, oh, he pointed at the camera and then the dad was like, what's the problem? And then he was telling the dad how there's always someone like asking him if he wants ice cream, so that kind of like freaked me out because I'm about to be a parent myself in like just 2 months. So to me, when I was looking at that situation, I looked at how like the parents like show their kids off social media a lot. I mean, they post him on TikTok, they post him on Instagram. It's like once you are like you have like a certain percentage of viewers every day coming at you, safety is not really guaranteed because these days anyone can like really hack into your technology. They can hack into your webcam at home. You don't know how people do it, but there's a whole bunch of creepy people out there. So I don't really buy the idea of posting my child, like having an Instagram page for my child and posting them out like that every time. But what I thought when we were talking about this, I told him I was just like, the only thing I can do is with me, if I want to have an account for my child, it's going to be like a business account. You know, there's really nothing that's going to be posted about her, but I might want to be able to like build followers for her in case someday she like needs it to like transition into I don't know whatever she will want to be, but I would just want to like build up that account and then have like a certain followers. That way, when she gets to the certain age where I feel like she can run her own account on her own, I can hand it to her. But will I be posting her like advertising her? No, I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't know. I just don't feel safe about it. I don't even like walking out on my own by myself, so I don't even see how I'm gonna take my child and put in a way where I feel like it's not safe. And social media to me these days is just so fake. Everyone is just portraying a lifestyle that doesn't really exist. And I do not want to introduce my child into that kind of a lifestyle because I don't even like living it. So I don't know. It's just not something that most parents want to do it because it's just, I don't know, I guess because it's just become so normal. And then Africans, to me personally, I feel like they abuse that right. Because if you look at this white people or African Americans over here, they don't really like get into it. But with us, it's like once we see something trending, we really want to like stick on it and copy it so much, which is really, really horrible. And we end up handling it the wrong way because if you're creating an account for your child, it should be like monetized, you know. Don't just create it and be posting your child all over the place because that's the safety. You don't know what someone is going to do to your child tomorrow. You might be walking down the road tomorrow and someone sees that child and be like, oh, that's a child I saw on social media. They might kidnap your child. Like, it's just a whole lot of unsafety that I really do not want to get myself involved in. And I wish most parents could understand that. But if you tell them that, then it's just like you're telling someone how to like parent your child or something that you're not a good parent. But it's just, the world is crazy. And I'm just not, if I'm not safe, I cannot put my child in that position.
Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, a few things that I picked up, right? I think the main thing here you said was, the whole idea of safety, right?
Yeah.
Obviously being a mom, you know, your main responsibility is always to protect what's yours. And since you decided to go ahead and break the news that you're expecting a baby in two
You broke
months,
the news, but it's not me.
I didn't break the news. I indirectly broke the news, but you decided to just lay it out there. But congratulations, shout out to you. You're about to be a mom. Very
Yep,
exciting
yep.
times. Um, you know,
Thank you.
so in terms of, protection, right? So I know you mentioned the whole thing about security, and it's a very funny story actually about the child saying that somebody's asking him if they want ice cream. So Carson, right? What do you think about the whole concept? And I know you're not a dad, but
I wanted to make sure you clarify that part. Because,
I
what?
mean, you might have kids that we don't know about,
I
so
have none.
uh, we never know.
Zero. I
Queen
know.
K, Queen K is there shaking her head, so she might know a few
He
things
said
that
he
we
said
don't
he's
know.
not a dad, but he's someone's daddy.
Hey, Jesus.
Yeah.
I beg. I beg.
It is for the streets. At this point, if five women come over here and say it was, let me close my
Hey,
mouth.
nah, I
Go
got
ahead.
it.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
Please, please, please,
Carlton's
please,
corner.
please, 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 please. Don't paint the wrong picture about myself. I don't know why you guys love doing this. The only
Uh,
person here that's the highways isn't that over here. Please, I'm safe and sound. Don't even. This guy's not even the streets. Is the highway.
No.
Anyway, so Carson, right? So I haven't listened to what Kelly said, right? What's your take, right? Are you the type that would do something like that, or you be more protective as well?
Um, Here's the thing, right? I don't necessarily think that today's times has just changed, right? So I'm not the type that would make a social media page for my kids, but I know that they will have access to a cell phone at some point in time, right? Because safety reasons, you need to make sure you can keep track of where your child is, etc. And you can put different parameters around their phone, right? Like as far as blocks are concerned. But as far as social media, I think that's something that they're going to do on their own. And it's not necessarily something that I would stop because I personally think that the pros outweigh the cons in terms of that. If there's someone creepy that's, coming up to your child online and stuff like that, you can easily just on one click block them, block and report, and get rid of that. So that danger is gone right there, right? Unless your child is someone that's going to go ahead and act on it. But in that scenario, that's going to be up to you to be able to, one, determine where your child is or what they're doing, and so on and so forth. So I'm personally all for it. And then second, it's something where your child can secure his future at an early age, right? By being an influencer. Or you can literally just I don't have to start a college fund for my child because if they blow up online, there are several opportunities that they can, get from that as well. And it's also part of growing up now. Everyone is online. Everyone has some kind of social media to a certain extent, whether you're an adult or a kid. So I'm personally just, go with it.
So when you born your child, you just go and create them an account and start making them some monetizing your child.
Nah. So the thing is, right, here's the thing. Yes, and no. So one, you can put your child online. I don't see if you see my child online, what are you gonna do? Really, if I create a page for my child or my pet, what are you gonna do? You can see what they look like. Do you have access to them? No, I'm the one running that account. What really, like, what else is there to really do about it? I don't see the point in doing it, but hey, if whoever I'm with, my wife wants to do it, so be it.
So
That, what do
at
you
what
think?
age do you
I-
feel?
What was that?
I was gonna ask at what age do you think they're supposed to have like run their own account? Because you talked about like letting them create their own account and run it. So at what age do you think is appropriate for them?
Whenever they have a phone, whether it's, I know nowadays kids are
And when
getting
is
phones at
that?
what, 10, 9,
I think
10?
I think the whole phone thing is also the whole phone thing is also based on the parents, right? It's not just, I mean, I know society plays
Yeah.
a role,
Yeah.
but in terms of in terms of, I think that was actually one of my next topics. But in terms of kids getting, cell phones, it comes down to the parent, it comes down to the upbringing, it comes down to society, it comes down to the community, right? Because, for example, a child come and say, well, my friends all have phones, I don't have one. Why?
Yeah.
So at that point in time, how do you counter that, right? So those are kind of things that we need to take in place, right? Because I don't think there's like an age criteria. I remember in our last episode, not last one, but a few episodes ago, we talked about when is the right time to leave your parents' house.
Yep.
There are certain things that you need to do before you can actually take that step. If not, you're gonna find your way back in your parents' house.
So I have one thing to add to that, though. I
Mm.
think it's very critical that they do get the social media account. As a matter of fact, I'm low-key changing my stance on it. I think it's very important that they do, right? Because just like how growing up, we went outside to go play. To them, this is how they socialize. So it's very important that they understand the rules and parameters around social media very early, so that way they can navigate throughout. And also, it's a matter of like, if everyone from school, right, like you mentioned, is going online, and let's say they're having they're meeting, that they're doing an IG live or something like that, and they're all interacting with each other, stuff like that. Now you're missing out on a key social aspect of growing up, where you can somewhat become socially awkward growing up in the future, where you're not going to be able to navigate these spaces online. Now, I'm not saying that negates, your child from coming outside and actually having that face-to-face interaction. But if let's say I go to school on Monday, and later on there's a party online or something like that, and everyone is there, on Tuesday everyone is talking about it, now I'm ostracized, I'm to the side in the corner because I have no idea what's going on.
Karen,
Everyone's like, oh yeah, this person
Karen,
did
jump
this.
in.
Okay, so
Karen,
I
Karen
understand.
wants to jump
I
in.
definitely understand Carson's standpoint and what he's saying, but I'm a big advocate of a child not having a social media. Maybe it's because since the only social media I have is a Snapchat, but I don't think, especially for a young person, like what Kelly said, security reasons, yes, most definitely. Two, if a child is young, they're not giving you consent to put these pictures on the profile, if you get what I'm saying. How, like, imagine you're growing up and then you start seeing yourself all on these platforms where at an age where you couldn't even tell your parent, yes, I want this on that. No, I don't want this. Like, because have you seen these YouTube family channels where like they've been exposed about how the parents literally are like using their kids to get money? Like a child can be crying about, there was just something that happened, but like a child was crying that their dog died, and instead of the mother comforting the child, the mother got the phone and was like, perfect, this is perfect content, let me record you crying and all that stuff. Like, have you guys heard that about that? But yes, it's like, I feel like, yeah, exactly, it's terrible. I definitely don't think at a young, what are you using a social media for? Like, I understand what you're talking about, like, oh, you might be missing out in life. Me, I'm definitely not missing out in life. Let me tell you this, me, I'm still living my life, I'm enjoying myself, I'm going out, and I don't have a social media. I only have
You're an
Snapchat.
adult.
Yeah,
No,
hold on.
even when I
You're an
was
adult.
younger, Carson, I've never had a social media, like,
Finish.
not
I
a point.
have a rebuttal for that. Finish.
But
Alright, go
like,
ahead.
before, I feel like a child needs to secure within themselves, like, their self-esteem, their
Oneself.
love and everything, because like how Kelly says, social media is fake. People will only put what they want you to see. Do you know how many people have low self-esteem because of social media? Like grown adults have low self-esteem because of social media, because you start comparing yourself with each other. You're saying, oh, wow, look at this. Like, for example, for me, look at this 21-year-old. They're out their parents' house. They're living lavishly. But why aren't I doing this? Imagine a young child. You know, like how they had that whole hate train about like Black girls are ugly, like dark-skinned girls are ugly. I'm just giving an example. Like, and then you're a dark-skinned girl yourself, and you're that young and that's your age, and you're seeing all of this hate that is spewing on the internet. At that your young mind, you're not ready to comprehend like all those things. That's gonna deteriorate like their life. And they need to, before my child can have a social media, I need them to be confident in themselves. I need them to be able to say like, you know, like I need them to be confident in themselves that if they see things on social media, they won't be, it won't drag them too far down, if that makes sense. They'll be able to be confident within themselves. You don't understand, like these things can really like it can really hurt a child's like mentality. I feel like you're taking away. Remember how I said in the podcast a while, but I don't know when we said this. I feel like social media is taking away these kids' childhood in a way, because it's forcing them to grow up fast. It's forcing them to mature fast. They can't really just live in their young life. They're too busy trying to be an adult, to be grown, to be sexy, to be handsome. I can go on for days, but I'll stop right here. But that's what I have to say.
Yo, next time we just gotta start the podcast and say, Karen, go. Yo, everything you said, I totally echo that. I definitely feel the same way. But I wanted to specifically like address, Cassie, you said some really interesting points, which are, like Karen said, are very, valid. Like maybe your kid might feel left out because they're not, just like when kids are homeschooled and then when they're like finally integrated into like a public school or something, there's always that sort of gap of like, inclusion or whatever. But I think you said, it's a difference if like, let's say somebody is messaging your child online and then they act on it, and if they don't act on it. But I think for me, I think the whole point is like putting that person in that situation for them to be able to make a decision after, like in the first place. Like if I wasn't in that situation, I wouldn't have to worry about having to respond to somebody messaging me about, oh, click this link to do this, click this link to do that. So that is my biggest issue. I want to be able to put my children in situations where they don't have to make decisions that, or like being influenced by other aspects, So I think for me, that's the biggest thing, It's not about, okay, they can have social media, they can have the Instagram, the Facebook, but they just have to be mature enough not to do this or that. But okay, it's not all about that. It's about, okay, what if you just don't put them in that situation to be able to have that, make that decision to say, I don't want to eat or take candy from somebody I don't know or talk to a stranger. What if you then bring them around strangers or put them in situations where they have to be always around strangers? So for me, that's the thing for me. And I also think, yes, maybe because we're adults, we might be able to like handle not being on social media for some period of time. But I also think, obviously as the years go by, as time go by, maybe the world would be more reliant on like social media. Everything is going to be online now, and you have to always go online. And that's always going to be the case, but your life doesn't have to revolve around a media post. Your life doesn't have to revolve around going on Instagram Live. You can still go to school and your friends are talking about, oh, were you on the Instagram Live? And you still have something else to talk about. And maybe, they can also feel like they're not part of your world also. And, so you're going to always have your own people, and that's fine.
And I don't think it's anything wrong with being like, oh, they're going to be excluded. Do you know how many times I'm quote unquote excluded because of the fact that I don't have a Twitter or Instagram, and my friends have to like, oh, Karen, this is what happened. I never feel included, even though sometimes I'm just like, what the heck are y'all talking about? But they can easily just say, Karen, this is what happened, yada, yada, yada. I can pull up my phone, Google real quick what it is they're saying, and then we can start a conversation. I'm speaking about me as a person who actually doesn't have a social media and is not constantly being given information about what's going on. So it's not like I'm just speaking hypothetically. This is literally my world that I'm talking about. So I never really feel excluded, if I'm being quite honest with you. Like, I never felt like, dang, maybe I should have a social media. If anything, I'm always like, dang, I thank the Lord I don't have any, because like I see the hate and this feel like my friends keep on talking about like how like they say like social, like sometimes they have to take a social media break because it's too much for them to handle. Like sometimes people have to go a week off of social media because they can't handle it, and they're adults. At least with adults, you're able to do that. You're able to understand yourself that you need to take a break. But as a child, I don't think you can fully comprehend. Maybe I should backtrack real quick. You can't comprehend that. So that's why I'm just like, at a young age, I'm definitely against it. But as a full-blown adult, man, go do what you want. Is your business. So
You know, Karen, you've touched on a lot of like points with, bro. Matter of fact, let me go back to the one you said. You said, you know, and us as Africans, especially as immigrants, we might not ever think about this. We might think, come on, man, like, you know, as a child, you don't have any control of what your parents, you know, are putting out there for you. You know, it's, you said, okay, maybe when they grow up and they have some sort of following or influencer following, they can make some money and maybe it's like funds with their college. That's fine and that's cool. But you know, that's different from saying I'm gonna put the college fund separate from my kids. I'm gonna put in $100 every month because you know that's you personally doing it. But having their image and their content out there in the world, and we all know things in the internet or in the cloud, they will never go away. So they're always gonna be there. So that's a big aspect. Like they don't have any say in, just like a lot of people say on Twitter, man, I didn't ask to be born, now I gotta pay bills. It's the same thing. You know, so like they don't have any say in that. They might wake up one day, I'm like, well, mom, you had all my stuff, my childhood out there in the world, you know, everybody to see. I don't want that. I didn't want that. I don't like that, you know? So that's a big part.
Okay, so let me rebut a lot of what you guys are saying, right? We'll start with the first thing you just mentioned, and Karen mentioned as well too, right? You said that when you grow up, you may not necessarily want these things out there, right? Because you didn't give permission or consent to that. I'll ask you this before I continue. When did you give consent to what religion you want to practice? When did you give consent to when you wanted to eat, what you wanted to eat as a child? When did you give consent to what you want to wear? That did not exist. When they took pictures of you and they posted it online, or you yourself and they took and kept it in the album, and they showed people when they came over. When did you give consent for that? That's one thing, right? Hold on. So the point about consent is, again, there's neglect, and there's, you know, neglect as far as like what content you're posting out there for your child. And that's up to you as a parent, right? To control what you're posting. I'm not going to expect for you to be posting naked pictures of your child online, right? I don't expect that. But if your child has
People do that.
birthday, again, that's wrong. That's not right. Again, we're not talking about necessarily like what you do. You're saying you're going to the extreme. You're going to say, oh, just don't do it at all. No, if my child has a birthday and I want to decide, or first day of school, and I post their first day of school, like their outfit, I see absolutely nothing wrong with that.
See, that's different because that's on your page, but this is creating a page for them separately.
And that's my point. But you're proving my point though, because if I create a page for them separately, I'm still the one posting that content, regardless of anything. So I'm still the one in control. For second, right? You guys talk about you not being able to control what your child is doing online or social media. Yes, you can. There's several apps out there. Yes, there are. There's several apps out there where you can literally see exactly what your child is doing on their phone.
So,
watch their
Carson,
screen.
let me ask you a quick question.
No.
Let me cut you off.
No.
Okay,
I let you guys finish. Let me finish,
because
I'm gonna go down the list. Right? You can monitor all these. Right? Now we're going into the realm of responsibilities as a parent. It's up to you to control what you put out there. And this is just the one side of it, right? If I have a child and I decide to post positive things about this child, my child has a skill. Let's say he plays the piano at the age of 5 or 6. Shoot, I'm posting that as much as I can because that can give recognition. That can be a future career for my child. That's a pro. Obviously, your social media is a tool. What you do with that tool is up to you. You can't say the tool is bad. That's incorrect. That tool is dependent on how you use it. Now, if I want for my child to use that tool It's up to me to monitor how my child uses that tool. And like I said, there are apps out there where I can monitor exactly how that tool is being used. Third, you're saying, Karen mentioned that the child confidence and what you call it, self-esteem issues, right, online. There are self-esteem issues have been going on since before social media. It's always going to be there after social media and things like that, right? So because I'm able to get a broader access to see, other people having different things, yes, it can cause self-esteem issues, but for the next person, it can also fix those self-esteem issues as well. It can build my confidence. Just like how I control what's being posted on there, I can also limit some of the things that are being seen on these social media platforms as well too. If I go through my history, if I'm watching live and seeing what my child is doing online, and I see that they're watching something negative, I can reprimand that child at that point in time, right? I can control a lot of what the child does online. Third, in that same aspect, right, as far as like, being children wanting to grow up much quicker and stuff like that, this is the world we live in. Even if they are not on social media, guess what? Their friends are on social media. When they go back to school, they're going to pick up some of the same exact habits that these other people have online. Fourth, we're forgetting about the tools, the things that you can learn on social media as well too, right? Because you have access to a lot of other people as well online. I can learn a lot of positive things. How many of us sit here and say, oh, I was 3 years old when I learned this? Where is that from? Social media, right? I just learned today that Ethiopia, it has a completely different calendar than we do. Where I learned that? Social media. So again, the tools are there. It's just how you use it. Now, if I'm going to trust my child to use it, that means I'm trusting myself and how I raise that child to be able to control themselves. And if they can't control it, I know that I'm going to be able to reprimand that child and guide them in the right direction. Now, if you're not able to do that for your child, then that's cool. But again, I'm quite confident that it's a tool, and how it's being used is how I'm going to educate my child to make sure they're using it properly. You can continue.
Thank you, good sir.
Yo, guys.
Go ahead.
I know that if I let you talk to tomorrow, right? But things have been said here that, I want to agree with them, but at the same time, I want to hear, I want to ask another question so I can get a different perspective. But we'll do that after we take our first break. We're going to go talk about our very first segment of the night, which is called our African proverb. I'll give $5 whoever gets the correct country that this proverb is coming
I
from.
thought you were about to say something else. I was scared.
What did you think?
when you said segment, I was afraid.
Oh, segment. Anyway, today's proverb says, all monkeys cannot hang on one branch.
Cameroon.
False.
That's a very easy guess.
Damn. Congo.
False.
Damn.
I know there are
Rwanda.
monkeys in Cameroon, but you're the only monkey that I know from Cameroon.
Oh, you must be talking to Aristide.
Let me repeat
I
it.
don't know,
All
though.
monkeys cannot hang on one branch.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Kelly said, it's an easy one. Where is it?
The reason why I was Kelly probably think it's Cameroon too. Don't mind that dog here.
Oh no, I was saying who said Cameroon? I said that's like an easy answer. He's not going to ask something that is like different to Cameroon.
Hey,
Yeah, trick question now.
Cousins of this way. So Kelly, where do you think it's from?
Niger.
Cousin should know
Africa?
this. That's why I asked. That's why I was going to you directly.
Kenya.
Ay,
I
ay,
don't
ay.
know.
Factos.
The moment he said Carson should know this, that's why.
That's
why
when he
gets the
clicked.
thing.
Anyway, Kelly, it's customary that our guests, dissect the proverb. So let me say one more time. All monkeys cannot hang on one branch. So what do you think that means?
Cannot hang on one branch.
You need help?
Yeah. I
I
mean, I
can.
have it like in my head, but to put the words together, that's like what's killing me.
Okay,
But
let me help you. In terms of this topic, right? How it would relate to this topic, right? It means that there are more basically like there are more than one way. There's more than one way to do things, right? So you can think of the branch as a tool,
oh,
and there, you can utilize it in different ways, right? You don't necessarily have to be on the same path as the next person or do the same exact thing because one person is doing the same thing. So there are different ways, different strokes for different folks, basically.
Cousin, I can dare you with the monkey that left the branch.
Of
You know,
course.
sometimes you,
Sense
you always
boy.
gotta think out the box.
But let's get back into the heat because I know there was a lot of heat before I decided to cool it with that segment. So I know a lot of people were talking about society and blah 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 blah. But let's bring it back home, right? As a parent, right? You're the first defense, right? You're the first line of defense for your child, right? So a lot of the teachings that has to happen has to begin at home, right? Even before you get to social media, right? And to Karen's point about self-esteem and all that, that has to be built from home, right? All these things have to start at home. So that way, when your child eventually goes out there, they already have that mindset that this is maybe they don't know exactly who they are at that point in time, but they have an idea of what it means to be oneself, right? So social media is not going to kind of break them. It might enhance them, but it won't necessarily break them in the sense that when they see these things happening, they know that the teachings from home have kind of given them that kind of foundation that these are things that I should do. These are things that I shouldn't do, right? So Kelly, I know you've been quiet for a while, and I know you're itching. Yeah, you're very itching to speak. So in terms of
That did not sound right at all. Ethan. Wow. Wow.
I don't.
Wow.
so
Interesting word choice.
as a no nah, some was in past English class when we were young.
Kelly, please slap him. Slap him very badly. He
So
was
pretty much,
listening.
right? So pretty much, Kelly, as a parent, right? So I know you talked about safety and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of upbringing as a child, right? Because one thing I know about kids, right? Kids don't listen; they observe, right? So even if you say, don't go on social media, and they catch you on social media, they're gonna question that, right?
Yeah.
So as a parent, what are some of the things that you think you would do to to kind of show your kids that okay, don't do this, don't do it, right? Show them what they should do. For example, rather than picking up a phone or an iPad, you pick up a book, right? Things like that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I feel like I'll be that kind of an open parent where I'll have discussions with you. I'm not saying like I'm gonna like completely like shut my child off social media. No. I mean, they can always if they want to look at something on social media, like my page is there, like we can share my social media together. I don't mind, you know. But the thing about me, because I didn't even start using a cell phone until I was like 18, because my parents like were completely very strict. They didn't like let us use, and if we were using a laptop, we were downstairs doing our homework on our laptop. So I grew up in that kind of a strict environment where it's not like I'm not gonna say I didn't like have access to the things. I could have still gone behind and like done most of the things, but I chose not to because it's just that discipline. I just feel like I've always had it in me already. And I'm not gonna force my child to be the same way that I am. And at the same time, too, I do not want my child sneaking behind me to do things that I just because kids these days, when you try to like control them too much as a parent, you're going to lose them. That's just how I see it. I'm pretty much just going to have conversations with them, let them know. If you have a question, ask me. Like we can talk about stuff. If your friend is doing something on social media, like it doesn't mean because your friends are on social media doing that, doing this, you have to do it too. And to me, when I was in school and that's when Facebook just came out. I mean, everyone, they were using school laptops to like go on Facebook. People had their cell phones. I didn't really have a cell phone. Was there a time in my life where I felt like, you know what, I do need a cell phone because I'm missing out on this? Yeah. But was that like every single day? No. Because when you get home, all of that like stops. Whatever happened in school stays in school. When you get home, it's just about your books and you're just focusing on whatever you have at home, the TV, pretty much. I do want my child to be able to experience the outside life. Not social media shouldn't have to be like uh it's not like a mandatory like where you it's not something that they have to feel like they're missing out on. They shouldn't have to feel like they're missing out on something because social media itself is toxic. It's like there's really nothing like good about it. But we do it because it's fun. Me personally, it's just business. Like right now, I'm on my social media break with my Instagram because it's just very annoying, and I take those breaks like every single year because I need
So
it.
yeah, burnt
It's
out, huh?
yeah, I've been on
So
social media for
social
like
media is
what
stressing
3
you.
It's I mean the things that have to do with on social media. Honestly, I do not want my child to have to go through that because so Instagram for one, like I'm one person. I don't know Instagram. I just it's so fake. Like I don't know. I prefer Snapchat. And right now, I can go on TikTok because I want to be able to laugh. I want to be able to like wake up and like have a positive morning. But when you once you open Instagram, it's like just mad people in there who
Say
have
mad
absolutely
people.
no they have no control of what you're doing. And cousin, and I know like you said like a whole bunch of stuff like you're going to like let your child like have because you think they're missing out on something. Personally, I don't think they should have to miss out on something because you as a parent should be like the one who should be able to provide your child that.
Factos.
Missing out. Wait, what am I? You said missing out on something and then provide that. What is
No,
the something?
because you said you don't want them to miss out on the social. I think that's what you said. You don't want them to
I
miss out on
said yes.
social experience, right?
It's a key social aspect
But
in
it
today's
shouldn't
world
have to
now.
be. It
But it
shouldn't
is.
not in
It's,
today's world. That's I mean it is because we as parents want to make our child feel like it's something them, but it shouldn't have to be. Them other means I mean when we grew up just fine. We're playing outside, playing games and playing other things. We grew up just fine.
that's when
But
we grew
social
up.
media, yes, but now social media you have to look at like is it safer than like is it more safe now than the way we grew up?
Was going outside and playing in traffic sometimes and running around, was that safe? We did it.
We didn't care about the safety then.
We did
But
it.
but you
And one
can't
more thing
honestly
to
you
add to
cannot
that.
compare like you can now to me like you can't compare social media to like playing outside when we were young growing up. That's like all different. Like the comparison is like not very much necessary to me because those are two different eras. Like today it's like way more unsafe.
Two
I
different
think
It's
eras.
become way more
Two different eras. Keyword.
yes.
Eras, two
But it's
different.
this one today is like way unsafe.
How is
It
it
is.
unsafe?
It is way more unsafe because I mean
How do,
the
how do
things
I
that
get hurt
happen
online
now.
as opposed to playing outside
Wait,
and riding my
you've
bike?
never gotten hurt. Riding out, you when you say get hurt online, doesn't mean that you have to fall and wound yourself. I would rather go have my child go outside, ride your bike, and they fall and have a scrape on your arm, than to go on Instagram and they have someone like bullying them or like pressuring them into like the whole social experience, like because you say you always have like a handle of like what your child is doing, but you don't know. People can delete messages these days
You can see that.
because
If you have those apps on the phone, yes, you can see all that.
but the thing is, like, would you, even if you let your child have the social media, would you want to like really sit down and then have to like have every single app on your phone just because you want to keep
Honestly,
like
I could tell you
that's
right
a
now,
whole
it's
lot
not
of
even a
work.
choice. I can tell you right now, it's not your choice because guess what? When they go to school, what do they give them? Tablets. You're not in school with them. They can download a lot of the things that they
Yeah.
want. They can do whatever they want.
That is.
I'm
So
sorry.
either
I
you
mean,
can
it's
either
true
you can
because I
guide
learned
them or they can do what they want.
The school
there's a whole lot
tablet
of things
already
that I
has
learned in school.
restrictions on it. So
My brother
Yes.
has one, and the stuff he was doing on there, nah, trust me, they can see what you do, but
Yeah, first of
you
all,
can-
your brother is your brother. That's the difference, bro.
yeah,
It's
because
No,
influenced
my
by
I'm
you,
not saying
cousin.
he didn't do anything
Cousin,
crazy,
your
but
brother is
like
influenced by
Yeah.
you.
no,
no,
not by
because
me. I
my
don't live with
No.
someone,
sister
but
has the laptops and literally she complains every day. Her and my little brother, they love to sing in my ear how they hate that the school has made it in such a way that they literally cannot use the laptop outside of schoolwork. So I don't know how your brother's
it's
school
not
is
my
doing
school.
it.
That's
It's
Cousin,
okay, your
Again, it's not.
brother's
Cousin hacked it and
that's
Hold
why I
on,
don't know
first
how
off,
your brother's school is doing it.
his
But
IT
my
people.
sister's school and my little brother's school, they're in two different schools. They literally sing in my ears every day. Wow, we can't do anything with these laptops. What's the point of us bringing it home if we can't even use it how we want to use it? Literally, they sing that
so
song.
there are obviously parameters around that, but a lot of those parameters you can bypass. Just like how when I was in school and I would use a school computer, everyone knew ways to bypass these things, right? So it's going to happen one way or another.
Okay,
Now,
but
the
the thing is
main
that
thing is
yes,
they
but
would
just
catch
because
you
it's
if
going
you
to
do
happen doesn't
something.
mean that you have to encourage it.
And
thank you.
okay,
So it's
and
just
again, you don't have to encourage it, but again, it's up to you, right? Like Donna said earlier, kids are going to do what they observe, what they see. If all their friends are doing this thing and they feel like, and you haven't guided your kids enough to where they feel like they should not do it, use that tool again, specifically, they will do what they want. They will find ways around it. How many times did your parents say, don't go out, and you found a way around that?
that's
How
why
many times did they tell you not to go outside and play, and you found a way around that? How many times did they say, go do your homework, and you found a way around that? Now, again, it's still up to you. Yes, you can guide your child as best as you can, but it's still up to them to do what they want or what they think they want. Now, they might regret it later, but again, it's up to you to guide them the right way. And taking away that
At a
tool
certain
from
age.
them completely is not going to help that, because guess what? They would just find a way to do it without you knowing.
no,
Yeah.
but Carson, what we're
I
saying
mean,
is
it
that
should
we're not
have an
saying
age limit. You can't let them like have a hold of social media like at a certain age.
that's exactly what we're
You
saying.
know,
We're not saying that
you
they
can't.
shouldn't have one
How do
complete.
you stop it then? If your
No,
child
we're
has
not.
a phone, how are you going to stop
It's not
them?
like I'm not saying I'm not gonna give. It's not like I'm saying I'm not gonna give my child a phone or that I'm
Karen
gonna
is
stop
saying
them.
that.
Like I said,
I never
like
said
I
I won't give
said,
them a phone. When I say
I'm
that,
not gonna
How
use
do you
them.
stop them from getting it then? From getting social media? How do you you're literally saying no.
Wait, let
They
me
go
ask you,
to social
Cassie,
media.
let me ask you a question. You said right before that there are ways to prevent your child accessing certain things when they're on social media. And then now you're saying again that there's always bypasses around all of that stuff.
I just
So
said they can go to school
which
and bypass that.
which is true, right? They always
Mhm.
bypass it. So I'm asking, like, so we both are aware that okay, there might be restrictions on this phone, but there are also other ways that you can bypass the restrictions, or to get to where you want.
Mhm.
So,
And
which is my point. And I agree with you that, Instagram or social media is a tool, just like you said. And it depends on how you use that tool or how you manage it, right? And again, going back to what Beona said, I think it's very crucial that it depends on how the child is groomed at home, like, as far as self-esteem is concerned. If they know who they are or who it is to be a person or who they want to be, all they have all these qualities or about themselves that they've been taught at home, then they probably wouldn't have that many issues if they were not, on social media and feel like they're included in certain social circles and stuff like that. But again, for me, my biggest thing is like, for like, Kelly, you said that when we were younger, we could play outside, blah, blah, blah. But which is true. But again, Cassie said something to a different eras, which is true. The era now, when we were growing up, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have Snapchat, we didn't care about none of that stuff. We didn't even have access to it, which goes to my other point. Like, if you don't even have access to it, you don't even have access to the problems that come with that certain thing. Now, I'm not saying that my kids will never have social media. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, based on the topic for today, is like, when is it appropriate for kids to have And I don't think there's even an age, just like we've talked today, right? There's no age. It's just more of like understanding that, okay, I think my child is mature enough to be able to, manage her own, or his social media alone and not do so and so. So for me, that's my biggest thing. I want to try to limit the exposure to my kids to certain things in life. I don't want to put them in situations where they have to make a tough decision on if I should do this or that, or what would dad do, or what would mom do. If they're not in that situation, they don't have to figure it. But obviously, you can't always shield them for life. They're kids, they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. So again, it goes back to teaching them what is right from wrong at home.
It's always based on the parents. Hold on, sorry. It's always based on the parents. Like, I'm not saying my child cannot have social media. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that this is what I've been saying for the longest time. The parent needs to, with the self-esteem issue, the parent needs to solidify with their child. Like, the child needs to know themselves. They need to be able to be confident within themselves before they can even climb on this treacherous thing that they call social media. Because
before you continue, question for you. Okay, the question was, at what age? You said you yourself, you're happy you did not have it. You said you would not let your child have it. So again, you're saying now you're changing and you're saying that you want.
No, I never said I wouldn't let my child have it. I said at a young age, I don't want it.
What is a young age?
Okay, if you're 9, I'm sorry, you're not having no social media at this 9-year-old because you're not mature enough. I'm sorry, Carson. You cannot come and tell me and say I'm not.
Like you have to be
so hold on. When did your child get a phone? Because that was my response. When did you get your child a phone?
Has a child?
No, I'm saying at what age? Because I said with the moment the child has a phone,
middle school.
When they can have
I'll give it middle school age. Like,
so we're saying the same thing then. The moment you feel like your child has a phone is when they get social media, because then they would have to.
There's no number to this. There's absolutely no number to it. There's no number to it, because if you're gonna give a child a phone, it means that you trust them, right? And going back to what Carson was saying, right? I mean, Carson, you made a good point, but I still disagree with the whole going around and making sure you're checking your phone. Because if you trust your child to have a phone, I don't see why you should snatch that freedom back from them, right? If I'm giving you a phone or I'm allowing you to do a certain thing, because I've seen that based on what we've discussed, back to what Kelly was saying, having those conversations, if I'm letting you be, right, it's because you've demonstrated time and time again that you can handle those things on your own. So I'm going to let you do it, right? And as a parent, because guess what? Kids love to know that, kids love to know that the parents have their support, their backing, right? So as a parent, whenever you make that choice to let your child out in the world, the last thing you want to do is snatch it back from them. Because guess what? Once they find out that you're doing those things behind their back, that's a problem.
To counter what you're saying, right? And we use this at work. You always want to make sure you inspect what you expect.
Contingencies, I know that.
So again, if I trust them to have it, but I still have, it's not like I'm going to be watching what they're doing 24/7. But if I check and you see kids are not perfect, kids are going to mess up, then I take it away. Hey, you get it, you take it away for a couple of weeks, a week, whatever. They learn the lesson, you give it back. And to counter what Aristide said, as far as kids always having a way to bypass things, yes, there are always ways to bypass things, but guess what? You find out. And when you find out, what do? You teach them the right way. You punish them, whatever you want to do, and then they get back at it. Just to plug
sometimes
that.
You don't find out, if I'm being quite honest.
Sometimes, a lot of times you're not going to find out. Yes,
you can't find out everything. Yeah, you can't
say everything.
But it's like you have to instill.
They're like sneaky.
You have to instill the confidence in the child first before you give them that social media. I am not going to let my child, if I know they have low self-esteem, I know they're questioning themselves, mom, what's it called? Like, I think I'm ugly. I'm not saying my child's gonna come up to me and say I think I'm ugly, but if I can, first off, my children, let me just say right now, let me not, but like if I can tell from my child, if I can tell that my child confidence is not the best, I won't be happy to give you a cell phone and then you knowing that you have a social media.
What if that's the solution?
That's what I'm saying. We have to instill it. Like
me,
no. Personally, when I have a child, I'm giving you the example. Wait, oh God, Jesus, let me say the example. God. So me, when I have a child,
that's 2 episodes
this
now.
is how I'm going to instill in them. I'm constantly going to talk to them every day. You're beautiful. Mom thinks you're beautiful. And I'll do it to myself too. Because like Belner said, whoever said it, your kids, they observe from learning. Like they don't, just because you're saying it is different, they have to see it. I'm going to tell, like in front of my child, I'm like, oh, I look cute today. Or you like my outfit? I think I look pretty. Like I'll constantly bring up to them like, oh, I'm smart. You're smart. Like those things in like keep on instilling it in their head so that when they grow up and they're on social media and they say like black girls are ugly, they already have like, I'm saying because they're black. My child's going to be black. That's why I'm saying black. Who is this calling me? But my child is going to be black. That's why I'm saying black girls. And they say black girls are ugly. They're going to be like, what y'all talking about? I know I'm the most cutest thing out here. You know, my mom constantly says she's pretty. She keeps on telling me I'm pretty. My dad keeps on telling me I'm pretty. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be, it's not going to happen, but they'll question it. They'll be like, okay. But it compared to like, if you've never heard it before, like your parents have never said, not never, but doesn't say you're pretty, you're beautiful, all that stuff. And you see on social media and it says black girls are ugly. Of course you're going to think you're ugly because your parents or whoever doesn't instill it. There's some things that when people insult me about, I laugh at them and I don't believe them because I've been told constantly in my ear that I'm good at this or I have this. So when people tell me, Karen, you're not good at this, you don't have this, I'm like, y'all lying. I've been hearing this all my life that I'm good at this and I have this. And why would I believe you? If you guys get what I'm trying to say. No. So that's what I'm like, I want to instill the confidence. First before I can hand them that social media. I'm like, okay, I know that you're strong within yourself. Nobody can tell you otherwise. You're good. So you can go ahead and with this world.
Question again for you. When you feel like you've instilled this confidence and your child still has self-esteem issues, right? And you said you won't hand them a phone because, you know, you think that would make things worse. What if that's the solution to their self-esteem issues? What if they find out that they're good at this influencing life or influencer lifestyle and stuff like that? What if that is the solution? Then what?
Influencing life, they feel like that's what
if they feel like taking pictures, you know, these filters, comedies, content and stuff like that. What if that's their solution to their confidence issues? What do you say to that?
Sir, that's not always going to be the solution.
And sometimes it's not, you know, it's not always going to be the problem, which is what I'm getting at. Again,
ask Brenda Bia, that's her solution.
I feel like the cons outweigh the pros. Like, yes, taking pictures and posting on social media, you can take pictures and keep it on your phone and be like, dang, I'm cute. You know, sometimes I go through my photos and be like, damn, I'm cute.
It's not always about taking the pictures. Sometimes it's about, hey, I can go online and go on Snapchat and use all these filters and be like, oh, I'm gonna make a funny video. Oh, I get people to laugh. Oh, shoot, I'm funny. Confidence booster. Oh, I got this new outfit. It looks fly. Oh, I'm into fashion. Confidence booster. Oh, I'm gonna be good at video games. I'm gonna stream it on Twitch or anywhere else. I'm great at this. That could be my future career. Confidence booster.
But
in terms of confidence, right? Sorry, Kinke. In terms of confidence, right? Do you think it's better for your child to have confidence from within or from outside source?
It's going to be from within, because as much as you, as a parent, you can tell your child anything, you're not going to give them confidence like that. The confidence comes from you yourself.
That's where I'm going with.
Yeah, I don't care.
The examples you're giving is what they're seeing on social media. But what I'm asking you is that shouldn't that confidence come from within? Because guess what, though? The thing is, like, for example, right? I don't know how many people on here watch like these motivational speakers. I cannot watch those things.
I can't do it either.
Because by the time they finish, I'm like, I'm not doing what everything you said to do. I'm not gonna do it.
So like that. Okay, good. So the reason why I say that, right, is because your most formative years are from your peers, not from your parents. So your core values, yes, your foundation, that's your parents. But everything else after that, you find outside of your parents, right? So if you notice, there's going to be certain things that you like that your parents necessarily may not even want you liking. But why do you like that? You were influenced by outside sources. So a lot of times your parents can say, not always, but again, that we can at least, I can guarantee you there's going to be at least 5 things that your parents may not necessarily have wanted you to do, but you did anyway because you were influenced by other people, or you wanted to do that because you would be with other people. There are friends that I've had that my parents are like, I don't want you hanging out with that kid. But guess what? I'm still going to do it because I'm influenced by that part. So as a parent, again, the confidence part, you can only do so much because guess what? You can tell your child you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Guess what? As guys, you go hang out with your boys, you're on the team. Guess what? You're ugly as hell. Like all this nonsense. Like, and again, it's up to you. You're not, your mom probably thinks you're cute, but that's the only person. Like they can make fun of all that stuff. So you're gonna find that, outside of your parents. And it's gonna be through your peer group or through other things, or through other aspects of things that you see outside of your parents.
I think we all had to like go through that phase of building confidence. Me, from what Karen said, your parents should also be the one to also like help give you that boost. I got mine from my dad because I remember I think I was like in high school and we're just sitting down like having a conversation, and then all of a sudden he just goes, he's like, oh, do you know you're beautiful? I'm just like, and I just sat like, I was like, I don't know. And then the way his face changed, and then he looked at me and he was just like, what do you mean by you don't know? Like, I gave birth to you. You should be able to know. Like, I shouldn't have to, you are supposed to say yes. To me, like, he was angry. I didn't really see why he was angry because I was in high school. High school at that time is just like, everyone is just fighting to like look a certain way, dress this way and like that. So it wasn't like really the best phase for anyone to have to go through. But now when I think about it, I'm just like, I cannot sit in a room and then someone walks up to me and be like, you don't look good. Like, because who are you to tell me that I don't look good? I know myself. I'm very, very much confident in how I look. I know what I can do. I'm capable. You can't like come and you cannot just come and talk to me anyhow. Like when I look at you and you look at me, like we cannot. You can't say I'm ugly because we are not mates.
I'm not your mate. I was getting there.
Like we are not mates. Like don't. So I feel like that push is really needed from your parent because it means a whole lot. You might underestimate it, but it means a whole lot because when your own parent can like push you and let you know that, there's nobody in this world who can tell you shit, like nobody. And my dad helped me with that a whole lot. And nobody can sit now and be like, Kelly, I don't like what you're wearing, or Kelly, like you are not doing a great job at this. Like your business is, you can't, because for you to have to talk to me, you have to at least be somewhere.
Levels. There's levels to this conversation. I don't like boring people.
No,
So that's
Cassie,
Go ahead, bro.
I say you've brought a lot of like interesting points, and I really appreciate you taking the other side in this conversation because it's also making me think. It's not always gonna be black and white.
I love the
That's
gray
my job,
areas.
man.
I love
That's
the
my
gray
job.
areas, man.
That's my job.
So I know we've covered a lot tonight, right? I know we've covered a lot tonight. So Karen and myself, we were at a concert a few weeks ago. This what is the auntie from again? I already forgot where she's from. Jesus Christ.
He's from Gambia.
Gambia, yeah, this Gambian musician, Sona Jobate. So she said, outside of music, she does like a lot of work with kids in her country. And one thing she tries to emphasize with the students is being yourself at home and in school. Because a lot of these kids, when they go to school, they're taught European history, American history, but never African history, right? And I'm trying to apply that same concept here in the sense that, are you able to be yourself in the real world and be the same person on social media? So I want you guys to all think about it for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna go around and get you guys answers. Like, is it possible to be yourself in both of these? People will say in the multiverse. I guess you can put it that way. So
The metaverse.
oh, it's metaverse. It's metaverse now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, some of us don't know those things. So, is it possible to be yourself in both realms? Right. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna end with cars because it makes a lot of noise. I'm gonna give ladies an
The hate,
opportunity to go
man.
first.
The
So
slander.
Queen K, what do you think? Lead us.
Um, yes and no. It gets really tricky with social media because, like, if you have your parents on there and like all that stuff, like with me on my Snapchat, I can't really post all the things I want to do because in the back of my head, I'm just like, I don't want Vilner seeing some of these things. So I rather I rather not. So that's what I'm just like, it's a yes and no. Like, you can't be yourself fully on social media, but then depending on who you have on your social media, you don't want to show them fully everything. Like, for example, like if your coworkers are there, you don't want your coworkers to be seeing some of the things you're posting. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's a very hard place. I feel like there's a good balance. You can show some of yourself, but without taking out fully you, if that makes sense. You can, yes, you just have to tone it down a little. That's
Mm,
my
mhm. Kelly, what do you think?
I mean, you brought me back to the point where I was saying social media is like just fake.
Toxic.
Like, yep. Because with me, I mostly post on Snapchat. Like Snapchat is where I feel most comfortable to like post. Like I can post anything I want. Like it's like a whole mini reality section. But Instagram, I used to post on Instagram a lot, but then it's just Instagram just became so annoying. It's like I'm seeing somebody, I know that you are not exactly what you are in real life, but you're portraying this life with I bought a new car, I'm in the club, doing the rimmer with someone else's bottle. I mean, you're out there buying wig for like $1,000, but then you're coming into my DM asking if I can help pay for your rent. Facebook, I don't even post at all because that's where family is.
sounds like
And
something like
family
that
is
has happened to you.
because I mean it does. That's why I say social media is so fake because you see people who don't even have good jobs and they're here like trying to portray a lifestyle. Like I had this, we went to a club one time and there was this girl, I refer to her as the slay queen, who was sitting next to me. She came prepared. I mean, this girl came with her ring light. She came with her phone, dressed so nice. And a guy brought her to the club. And me, I went to the club that night with my girls. It was a girls' night out. And my boyfriend, he ordered me a bottle for my table. So she came and sat on our table. I mean, the boy brought her to our table to sit next to us, because we knew like the guy. So he brought. So instead of you to like respect yourself, act like the guest that you are on our table, you chose to like proceed. Like they finished doing the whole Dorime light, they brought on the table, and then you took my own bottle that my own man paid for, and you took your camera and your light, whatever light they call it, and you are there capturing yourself, deleting. It doesn't look good. You capture yourself, deleting with my own bottle, and I'm sitting there like, are you gonna put the bottle down? Like I want to drink, So it's like it's just so fake that it just doesn't make sense. And then you go to the club and waste so much money. But what guys do nowadays, like that annoys me. I don't know if it's just here where I am in Charlotte, but they'll bring a girl to a club and then they'll just sit her in a table where they have their other friends. So the girl can drink, but you will not buy the girl the drink. You go on the counter, buy your own cheap beer, walk around the entire club, and you leave your girl there on a table where there's drink. To me, if you're going to do that, do not just take me out at all because I don't like nonsense.
I don't
Don't
like
come and
don't
be
like
don't
boring
come to the
people.
club to like
Yo, that's the quote
no.
of this week. I don't like nonsense.
I don't like nonsense. Number one
But
bullshit guy.
to me, it's just like the whole portrayal of just social media life. I don't like it. I mean, Facebook, I don't even post at all because family is there. Family is like monitoring spirit. Like they will not, even if I post just little thing that is just showing like if my eye is just popping even a little like this, they'll be like, what are you looking? Why are you looking like that? Who are you trying to seduce? You wear something you like. I don't post on Facebook anymore because family is just driving me crazy. Even if I post on my WhatsApp status, like if I know that you're just going to complain, I'm just blocking you from viewing my story because I don't like stress. And I just mostly just use my Snapchat because Snapchat, I don't care who is on there. To me, like I said before, like social media is like a whole platform to build a whole business for me. I've been using it for a long time to like make money out of it. And that's why now I don't like really do a whole lot that I used to do before. But now I post I post on there because I want to be able to like maintain that audience. I want people to like still come and like follow me. That way, when I go on to like my next business adventure, this supposed to still be available for me to like come and advertise too. So it's not just I'm not posting because I want to post or because I like it so much, but it's just because I want to be able to maintain that audience for my business because I'm always thinking ahead of myself, like how to make money. It's just money. To me, if you're
Yeah.
not using social media in a wise way, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what Carson was talking about. It's a tool. So I guess it depends on how you use it.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's a child. I mean, I cannot go and beside my child on social media at that young age.
Give your child knives to cut tomatoes. It's still a tool, right?
It's okay.
How they use it
I'll
matters.
post them on my page. They will cut tomato on my page. We'll post it.
And either way, they're still doing it.
It's a family business.
Still a tool.
Yeah, I mean, Nah, what do you think about this whole thing about being yourself and both?
Yeah, I think the beautiful and also the scary part about social media is because you can go on there and you can be totally different person from who you are, willingly. But I think you can be just like Karen said, you can be yourself depending on your followers or your following. But then also I think one huge part about social media is sometimes you just post, you just being you, but the way other people like interpret it is a big thing because sometimes you don't even want to show off. You just post because you went on vacation and you want to post the food that you're eating, but somebody's gonna be like, "You got it, I post it, saving now, So that's the biggest thing.
That's
It's
the
like
one right there, man. That's the
people
one.
like
Posts.
Say it again.
people always want to like we get it. Social media can be fake, right? But sometimes just let people do what they want to do, and
Boom.
you don't have to interpret it. You can just scroll and pass, man.
Boom.
If you don't, you unfollow them even.
Or
Yeah.
block them,
And
mute them.
I'm not judgmental. Like I
Oh
don't
no,
judge
not for you,
women on what
Kelly.
they
No,
do.
because hey,
Yeah,
look,
I mean, yeah, I know.
I've judged people online
I
before,
just,
so me too.
We have
oh
all
no,
judged people
me,
online.
like I'm an open-minded person. I don't like judging people. Like how I don't know if you want to put your child on there, it's fine. Like I don't really care because the world is changing already, right? Like Carson said, like you can't really control. You don't know. I used to always say expect anything. Just expect anything. You never know. So I'm not gonna sit here because I have a different view on how I want to build my child up. It doesn't mean that someone has to have that same view. So I don't really care what you choose to do in your house. That's your problem. What I do in my own house is my problem. I don't judge. I don't care. Like portray the lifestyle that you want. That's between you and your God and your household. I would portray what I feel like is right for me to be able to like groom my child into this world.
Yeah, just quick comments. I feel like on social media, people want to see everything that you do to make a conclusion. But like, if your page is just like you only post when you go out and have fun, people would think this guy's life is this and this. But no, you post because that's what interests you to post. It's like the only time I'll post a picture if I go out at a party and I take a picture and that's it. But the way people interpret stuff sometimes is like, the party man. But,
All right,
So
Carson.
Carson,
Land.
I don't.
Land before.
Aristide kind of echoed a lot of what I was gonna say. So the question was, is it possible? Yes, I've seen several people do it. Would you want to all the time? That's different. But I know personally, shoot, I post whatever I want because I know my audience, like Karen and Aristide mentioned, is limited. I know exactly who's there, and then I create different scenarios. So I have my close friends where it's literally just me, and as long as it's work safe, that's still me. I post whatever I know is not gonna get me in trouble at work, which is all me, authentic. So they'll see me eating on. You would literally see me eating on social media, online, nonstop, going out, drinking, anything. So yes, I think it's very possible. Does it always happen? No, but it's very possible.
Yep. So to that point, Carson, I think it definitely is possible. Also, depending on what you tend to post, right? Because I think a lot of times, being able to be yourself means that you can post whatever you want, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your account, it's your username, it's your password, it's your account, right? You're allowed to do anything they want to do. For example, Instagram was made to post stuff, right? Twitter was made to tweet stuff, right? So I'm not gonna go in there and try to not do what the platform was meant to be used as, right? So pretty much, I think you can be yourself, but obviously, like Carson was saying, if it's not sufficient for work, then maybe you might not want to post that, right? So pretty much that's my take on it, right? So really good conversation. There was a lot of insights. I'm sure our guests are gonna have a field day with this episode. Carson might have made some more friends. Probably made a lot more enemies.
As always, as always,
As always. Kelly, we definitely appreciate you.
Yes,
So
man.
in terms
Thank
of,
you.
I know you mentioned that you had a business, and shout out to you. You are one of the vendors for a wedding. You did so the groomsmen's their outfit. So we appreciate you doing that for us. So in terms of website or Instagram page, where should or how should the audience contact you if they want to put in an order for the outfit?
Before you answer that, Beck, we'll be doing business very soon.
Oh, I love money.
Who are you getting married to? I don't.
She sold the outfit. What do you
Oh,
mean?
okay. I thought you meant for like wedding things. I said, who in their right mind will come and actually marry?
Oh,
Let me-
Hey, wait.
Go ahead, Kelly. Go ahead. Kelly.
I think she's still angry about her children being ugly, but it's okay.
Well, you can always, we have a Instagram page. I mean, I only deactivated my own personal Instagram, but my business page is still up and running. JS Design 237 on Instagram. So we have all of the contact information there. Always DM us, WhatsApp. I mean, I personally don't take charge of most communication. That's the job. The number to communicate with is over there. So I try not to get myself into that much work because I want to be able to chill too.
Enjoyment.
Yeah,
Right.
so our contact information, you can email us, WhatsApp us, DM. But I mean, if you want to reach out to me personally, you always can. So
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate
Can
you.
you tell us what
Appreciate
your
you.
IG page is though, again? So just in case.
The one that is
Close.
currently offline.
the one that's currently offline, my
Both
own
of them.
personal IG page, I'll probably be coming on my own back till after I give birth. Even though, but where can I type it?
And you said
Let me
JS
put it in the
Design
chat. Yeah, let me put it in the chat.
237.
237. Okay.
Just design.
Oh, and this is for everyone to see. So you can
Yeah.
to hear. Sorry, to hear. So you can just tell us out loud.
Oh, JS Design _237. God.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just typed it. But my own personal page is not up yet. And even if it was up, I deleted all of my pictures and everything because I went ghost mode. But
Well, who
I'll
you
be
ghosting
back
from?
on there. I'll be back on there because I do not want pressure. So I'll be back when I give birth.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to reach out.
No
Yes,
worries. We
And
appreciate you
definitely.
I
having
mean,
this
if you
I
want to
hope.
reach out to me
conversation.
personally, Donna has my contact information, so he can always send it to you if you want to reach out.
Mm-hmm. No worries. I'll reach out to set up your child's IG account.
Well,
I'm
you
kidding.
have to have a conversation with their father.
Hey,
That
No
would be
me,
a
oh.
different conversation. If
No
you
me,
think
oh.
me, I'm against it, then wait till you speak to the dad. He's
That
more
did this,
stricter
that
than
did
I
that,
am.
that did this, that
Huh?
did that. No one cares. They'll make the page. Anyway, guys, Kelly, thank you very much. Guys, do go check out JS Designs on IG. That shout out to you, Queen K. Good insights. Go do your homework. Chef Car, make sure you spice that meat tomorrow. We are chopping live.
You know the
This has been
vibes.
fun. This episode was brought to you by good friends at Stuck in the Middle. Check us out on Instagram at NYK Podcast. We are also on Twitter at Now You Know One. Yes, we're allowed to have social media page because we are adults. Until next time, peace out.
Yalla.
Thank you.